Let's begin.
Good morning. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's AM Docket. Today is Tuesday, November 17, 2020. Board is hosting its Webex virtual meeting. We'll be hearing regular items, new, transfer, hardship licenses. I'm going to quickly go over a PowerPoint presentation. The board uses a Webex platform in order to host its meetings. On this web page, or on this, PowerPoint page, you can see a link that you can click on if you have a smartphone, computer, or other similar device, so you can have access to our hearings. There's an access code and a password. If you do not have an iPhone, computer, or similar device, you can call in, and there is a number and access code down at the bottom. The materials and related items, pardon me, the copies of the short docket and long docket can be found on our website. We have a link there, and please go to the hyperlink for November 17, 2020. You will find the information. There's a 48-hour rule for evidence on online hearings. If individuals want to submit any evidence, they should do so at least 48 hours before 11 a.m. on Tuesday, November 17th. If we do not receive evidence before that 48-hour rule, we will not be able to include it in the evidence packet, since all of these meetings are online and virtual. Any amendments attempted to be made at the hearing in regards to these applications will lead to an automatic postponement due to state law. Quick procedures. After I read the instructions, I'll call each case. Once I call the case, I will pull in the attorneys and or representatives and applicants into the meeting. That time I would ask you to turn on your video and audio feeds. We have a court reporter who will swear you in. Please state your name slowly so that the court reporter can take notes. Again, this is live and being recorded. If there are any, after the board takes testimony, the board will ask if any members of the public wish to provide testimony in these cases. At that time, if you wish to provide testimony, I would ask that you use the raise your hand function so you can be noticed and brought into the hearing to provide testimony. At that point, the board will make its decision regarding, again, these regular items, new, transfer, hardship applications. The board is not authorized to discuss non-case related matters. The board can only discuss matters that are before it. Just general ground rules. I'd ask that if you are not speaking, please mute yourself because whether it's phones or noise from outside, that all affects the hearing process, and the commissioners want to be able to hear all of the testimony by any individual giving and any party individual giving that testimony. When you're brought in, again, please turn on your audio and video feeds. Speak slowly and in a clear voice so that the court reporter understands exactly what is being said and who is saying it. Individuals who use profanity, are disrespectful, or unruly may be expelled from the virtual hearing. Please note that you will all ask to be sworn in if you're going to be giving testimony. Just some helpful reminders. If you're going to be giving testimony, please be in a well-lit, well-lighted location so that you can be seen. Again, please make sure you're not in a noisy area so there isn't a lot of feedback and the board and commissioners can hear exactly what is going on. And with that, Mr. Chair, may I begin the docket with a preliminary matter?
Please do.
Randolph Smith and John Gross III, 6212 Reisterstown Road, LLC, trading as Goldie's Deli and Carryout, 6210 Reisterstown Road. This was an application for a new Class B beer wine liquor license. This matter has been postponed and will be reset on a future date. Going into case number 1, Young Ja Lee, Chan Q Lee, and Janice Vetter, Sun Beverage Incorporated, trading as Northwood Liquors, 1532 Havenwood Road, This is a request for a hardship extension under the provisions of Alcoholic Beverages Article 122202, which allows up to a 360-day hardship for a Class A beer, wine, liquor license. I'm bringing in the licensees now. They're unrepresented. Mr. Lee, can you please turn on your video and audio feeds?
All right, I turned it on. Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
All right. So would the reporter please swear him, please?
yes.
Lee. Please state your full name, Mr. Lee.
My name is Bruce Lee, BRUCELEE. Oh,
Okay, thank you.
hold on. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Who
Mr. Lee, if there are other people with you, you need to put the camera on them.
영자 Lee.
Okay, would you be able to spell your name for me, please?
First name YONG, middle name JAJ.
Okay.
Last name LEE.
Okay.
There's one more person.
Thank you.
창규리.
Okay, and is that CHAN and then
Yes.
KYU and then LEE?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Please raise your right hand.
Right.
Thanks. Thanks. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury? And please state your name before your response.
Okay, Bruce Lee, 아버지 이름.
찬이.
어머니.
영자 Lee.
Oh. Okay, and then just say your response.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I say.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
That's it.
Mr. Lee, I'm Albert Matriciani, the chairman of the board. We have a letter from you dated March 7th requesting a hardship extension.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about what your plans are for this liquor establishment?
Okay, the landlord, they are rebuilding the shopping center right now. So they asked us to, they are rebuilding it, so we have to force the close. So they are planning to rebuild it, finish it by 2022. So I'm asking for hardship extension, so the license will be still alive.
Okay, so Mr. Akras, we don't have the authority to go that far, do we?
We do not. We have the authority to grant a hardship up until 180 days, not to exceed 360. However, in this case, due to the executive order issued by the governor on March 12, 2020, the time period is tolling. So, for example, in this case, the establishment closed in November 27, 2019. Essentially, Mr. Lee's hardship begins tolling on March 12th. Mr. Lee will receive if the board grants the hardship extension, Mr. Lee will receive 360-day totals from the 360-day total hardship from the beginning of November 27, 2019 up and until March 12, 2020. And then when the state of emergency is rescinded, there'll be the balance of those days on the back end.
I'm not sure I understand that, but so how many days are we authorized to give him now?
360 days total, and we can compute that in light of the state of emergency. This may allow Mr. Lee to have that hardship extension well into 2021, depending on when the state of emergency is rescinded. But I wouldn't be able to guarantee anything beyond that. The state of emergency could be rescinded tomorrow, and then Mr. Lee's clock will begin again.
Okay. So, Mr. Lee, you understand all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How long have you all had this license?
More than 1991, so it'll be almost 30 years.
Oh, okay. All right. And when did you close? Back in 2019?
November, what was it?
Yeah, you wrote it here, November 2020.
Yeah, November 20, I believe.
So about a year ago. Okay.
Yes, yes, almost a year ago, yes.
Okay. Do the commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions.
Just a comment. So this
Commissioner, you're not being heard. You're muted or something.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lee, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. I can hear.
Yeah, and so just to be clear, this is because of demolition occurring at Northwood Plaza, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Nothing further, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Is there public comment, Mr. Acker?
If there are any members of the public that wish to give testimony in this case, please use the raise your hand function so you can be identified and impaneled. Mr. Chair, I see no individuals that wish to give testimony in this matter.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lee and Ms. Lee, on the basis, considering the circumstances of your situation and on the basis of the materials that you have submitted, including the 2 letters to the board from October 9th and from March 7th, and your testimony today, I would vote to grant the full 360-day hardship extension.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioners?
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board, I also vote to approve the application for the hardship extension for the 320 days for the 320-day extension.
Thank you.
Based upon the submission, the testimony from Mr. Lee, I too would grant the hardship extension for 180 days, not to exceed 360.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, sir.
No exhibits for the record.
Mr. Lee, I just would like to let you know that the board will be mailing you correspondence regarding its decision in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Calling next case, Sushila Twari, Nar, Bahadur Dahal, and Latarsha Pierce, DGSK LLC, trading as Liquor Shop, 6400 Holabird Avenue. There's an application to transfer ownership of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. We'll be impaneling those members now.
What is all that? You need to stop that background noise.
I've impaneled Mr. Fogelman, Ms. Tawari, and Mr. Dahal. Mr. Fogelman, please turn on your video and audio footage. Mr. Dahal, please turn on your audio footage.
Hello.
Good morning. Would you say identify yourself for the record, please?
Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicants at 6400 Holabird.
Good morning. Are they with you this morning?
I'm sorry, they are present?
Yeah, with you?
No, I see Mr. Dahal and Ms. Tawari on this call. They are the applicants for the license.
Okay, let's have them sworn, please.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Thanks. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Yes. That's not the help.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Fogelman, do you want to talk about this transfer?
Yeah. I do. Thank you very much, Your Honor. This is a transfer, a partial sale of the company. Ms. Tawari is already on this license and has been since 17. Mr. Dahal manages the establishment, and he is coming on to the license. They both have extensive alcohol management experience and experience at the location. Just basically, they've served thousands of customers without a problem. They understand the rules and regulations of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City. This location is a relatively industrial commercial area on Holabird Avenue. However, the establishment does back up to the backyards of some row houses. The establishment closes at midnight, and they don't have any problems out front or in the rear. They are current on all taxes, and I'd like for them to briefly discuss their COVID-19 protocols for 2020.
Okay. Who did you want to, why don't you question them, Mr. Fogelman?
Thank you very much. I'll ask Mr. Dahal. Mr. Dahal, you're the one seeking to come on the license, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and tell me about what you're doing at the store to comply with COVID-19 social distancing regulations.
Actually, we put the no mask, no sale sign in the front door, and then we put the sign on the register area too, and then we made a 6-foot social distance each and every customer, so we don't serve without mask.
And in fact, you've had to refuse service due to somebody who didn't have a mask.
Yeah,
on at least one occasion.
Yes, it is.
Right. And Mr. Dahal, although you've never held a liquor license, you have lots of retail alcohol sales experience. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Tell the board where you have worked in the past.
I was in the Virginia, so I was a manager in the SCHS Incorporation around 3 years. So we used to sell the alcohol and the wine. So I have an experience about that.
So
okay, wonderful.
Speak up, Mr. Dahal.
Yeah, Mr. Dahal, you want to speak up? Let me. So you have retail alcohol management experience both in Nottingham, Maryland, and in South Hill, Virginia. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that is right.
So you've been selling alcoholic beverages almost nonstop since 2009, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. And you understand that the board takes underage sales extremely seriously?
Yeah, 21 years. We check the ID. If we see some customer below than 40, we ask the ID, and we scan that.
Thank you, Mr. Dahal. You're going to be certified in alcohol management. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for Mr. Dahal, nor for Ms. Tawari, having been found a fit and proper person to hold a liquor license by this board previously.
So will all the people who are going to be handling the alcohol get certified?
Yes, they will, Your Honor.
And this establishment, since 2017, has twice been cited for sales to minors. So I just heard what Mr. Dahal said, but they need to be very careful about that.
Most definitely, Your Honor. Most definitely. They understand the gravity of that situation.
Is there a community organization that they need to work with?
Unfortunately, there's none that I know of in that area. It's like I say, it's a mixed use area. So I am unaware of any community organization in that area.
Right. Do the commissioners have questions?
Commissioner Guy, no questions.
No question.
Okay. All right, thank you. Still getting lots and lots of feedback. I don't know where it's coming from. So, Mr. Fogelman, on the basis of the materials contained in the application, the testimony received today, and your proffer, I would vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of this Class A license.
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board, I vote to approve the application before the board.
Can you hear me?
No.
All right, here we go. Is this better?
Yes.
All right, thank you. My apologies. I'm having some issues. Based upon the application, the proffers from Mr. Fogelman and the testimony, I too would grant this application to transfer ownership.
All right, thank you.
No exhibits for the record.
All right, good luck, folks.
Mr. Fogelman, please note that the board will be sending you correspondence regarding its decision and next steps for licensure.
Thank you, Mr. Akris.
Okay. Calling the next case, Jessica M. Smith, Rawal Bar, Incorporated, trading as Rawal Bar, 25 East Cross Street. It's a Class BD7 beer wine liquor license, an application to transfer ownership. I will be pulling in those parties now. I've pulled in Mr. Rawal and Ms. Smith. I would ask that both of you turn on your video and audio feeds. I see Ms. Smith's audio, video and audio feed is on. Mr. Rawal, please turn on your video and audio feed. Great.
Are they unrepresented?
I'm here
Mr. Fogelman is representing them.
Okay. Would you identify yourself again, please, for the record, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of the applicants at 25 East Cross Street.
Good morning. And can we swear Ms. Smith and Mr. Rawal, please?
Yes, please raise your right hand. Okay. Great. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
And Mr. Rawal? What is your response, Mr. Rawal?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Fogelman?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I am joined here by Gaurav Rawal and applicant Jessica Smith, 25 East Cross Street, across from Cross Street Market. Mr. Rawal's going to serve as the general manager. His wife owns Champs Pizza in Glen Burnie for over 14 years, where he has been employed. At the Champs Pizza location in Glen Burnie, they run about 75% food to 25% alcohol. Both Ms. Smith and Mr. Rawal will be alcohol management certified. Unfortunately, I'm kind of not used to these Tuesday hearings with a Sunday evidentiary deadline. And so unfortunately, I have a menu and it's not, it wasn't submitted on Sunday, but it includes entrees as diverse as filet mignon to wings, tacos, quesadillas, wood-fired pizzas, cheesesteaks to crab cakes to rice bowls. So it's a very diverse menu. They anticipate the same ratio of food to alcohol at this establishment. Both, as I say, will be alcohol management certified. Mr. Rawal is extremely familiar with rules and regulations of the liquor board, having served as the bar manager in Glen Burnie. not serving underage drinkers. He also has a COVID-19 policy in effect there and plans one for this establishment. And unfortunately, and Mr. Ackers reminded me, and I forgot, I was supposed to lead off by telling you that we have agreed in principle to the terms of a memorandum of understanding with the South Baltimore Neighborhood Association with President Sam Cogan. And due to the mail and not being able to get everybody together, that MOU is not yet signed. That MOU is pretty basic as far as obeying all laws, keeping the exterior of the premises clean, making sure that the community has the updated contact info for the management, and finally, that they will, and they are, installing exterior video security cameras and agree to share any video with the Baltimore Police Department in the course of any investigation they have for possible violation of criminal laws.
And are they willing to have the terms of the MOU as terms on their license?
Yes, they are, Your Honor. I've discussed it with Ms. Smith, the applicant, and indeed she agrees to said terms and the attachment of the conditions to the license.
Okay. And you say they have an in-place COVID plan?
Yes, I'll be happy to have Mr. Rawal discuss that very briefly if you prefer.
Or you can just what is it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as everybody has. As you heard earlier, it is no mask, no entry to the establishment. The tables and chairs. The establishment is not currently open. It's being renovated, but it expects to open at some point during the winter. The tables and chairs are going to be removed so that whatever occupancy we are at when they do open, whether it's 25%, 50%, or whatever, will be have strict maintenance to that.
And they're going to employ other people to handle the alcohol?
At some point, yes, they will, and they will have them alcohol management certified, Your Honor.
Because in the last 5 years, this establishment under the prior licensees had a number of sales to minor problems and relations with wholesaler problems. So it needs to be cleaned up. Understand that?
No question. And
Your
Honor, this concept is going to, they believe, prove to be more simply more food oriented and less party oriented.
Okay. The commissioners have questions?
Commissioner Guy, I have no questions.
No questions. No questions.
Mr. Ackers, do we have anybody else interested in testifying?
If there are any individuals who are in the waiting area, could you please use the raise your hand function so we can identify you and you can provide testimony in this matter. Mr. Chair, I see no individuals who wish to give further testimony in this case.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Fogelman, on the basis of the materials contained in the application, your proffers and before the board, and I assume you're going to submit the later on, I would vote to approve the application transfer ownership of the CD7 license to the terms of the memorandum of understanding with the South Baltimore Association to the extent they are enforceable by law. Thank you. Commissioners?
Commissioner Guy, upon the review of the evidence and the testimony presented before the board, I also vote to approve the application for transfer of ownership.
Based upon the submission and the proffers from counsel, I too would grant the application to transfer ownership with the MOU attached to the extent it's permitted by law.
Ms. Russell?
No exhibits for the record.
All right. Good luck, folks. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Fogelman, please note that the board will be sending you correspondence via mail concerning the board's decision and next steps for licensure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ackers.
Calling the next case, Muna, Karki, and Vikash Thapa, Karki LLC, trading as Broadway Discount Liquors, 628 South Broadway as a Class BD7 beer wine liquor license and application, amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer wine liquor license presently located at 1709 Fleet Street to 628 South Broadway.
Do we have
I'm
counsel?
bringing in Ms. Karki now, and counsel is going to be Mr. Fogelman.
Okay. So once
Ms.
again,
Karki, if you could please turn on your video and audio feeds.
excuse me, and once again, Mr. Fogelman, would you identify yourself for the record, please?
Thank you very much, Stephen W. Fogelman, on behalf of the applicants.
Thank you. And if we could swear Ms. Karki, please.
Muna Karki, MUNAKARKI, 628 South.
Please. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fogelman?
Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor. Ms. Karki is currently holds a license at the same address, 628 to 630 South Broadway, trading as Broadway Discount Liquors. Broadway Discount Liquors is one of the smaller liquor stores in Baltimore. It specializes in Eastern European wines and liqueurs. The applicants wanted to put a small wine tasting counter with bar stools into the establishment, no more than 5 seats. This was a problem with their zoning, and so they went before the BMZA. I went with them, and the BMZA agreed to allow the conditional use of this property as a tavern in order to allow for a BD7 license to be placed therein. The purpose of the wine counter is twofold. One is to allow customers to sample alcohol on premises in small quantities in order to determine whether to purchase a bottle or a case thereof. The other reason is to create a level playing field for Broadway Discount Liquors. As you may be aware, there are other establishments within several blocks that also have a BD7 license and a small bar. What it allows for is Sunday sales, Your Honor. There are many, many places near my residence up and down Boston Street that also have BD7 licenses and small tasting bars. They include Bo Brooks Lighthouse Liquors, Canton Crossing Liquors, and what is the one on Broadway? Bristol Liquors. So, Your Honor, the Ms. Karki met with the Fells Point Residents Association about 2 weeks ago. Many of them are her clients, her customers at the store, and they were generally supportive. I don't know, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to check the file like I used to the day before the hearing, so I'm not sure if there's a letter or not from the Fells Point Residents Association in the file, but they are generally very much in support. Finally, Your Honor, again, that Sunday evidentiary deadline, I want to apologize. I have a petition to support a small bar and 7-day service at Broadway Discount Liquors with over 180 signatories.
And so in terms of moving, so what was on Fleet Street?
Oh, that was a liquor store that had burned down. I was not involved with that. That was Mr. Kadinsky had filed an application. Apparently, there was some opposition to move it to Central Avenue, and that case was postponed. And then at some point, my client was approached by someone who said that that license was available for sale.
So that's the license that's being transferred to 628 South Broadway?
Yes. As you may be aware, it's that zone, that area, that ward and precinct only licenses from certain precincts are even allowed to move within those precincts. So we had previously filed an application to bring a license from the 46th district, but another part of the city, to this location, but that was prohibited by statute. So we finally found a license that would fit.
Okay. And Ms. Russell, we don't have the letter from Fells Point, do we?
We do not.
Okay, so that you can submit that later. I guess we'll take your word. And in terms of operating this, is Ms. Karki experienced in it, or is everybody going to be tip certified?
Yes, she currently is tip certified, I believe. Ms. Karki, are you alcohol management certified at the present time?
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Karki, since I have you here, tell the board briefly about your extensive experience in retail alcohol sales.
I've been in a liquor business for, I've been helping the Howard Discount Liquor as a manager for like more than 15 years.
And that's at 3 North Howard Street?
Yeah, it's at 3 North Howard Street.
All right, and from 2017 to present, you've held a liquor license at 628 South Broadway. Isn't that correct?
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I have no further questions for Ms. Karki, but if the board would like to inquire?
Yes, commissioners, do you have questions?
Commissioner Guy, no, I have no questions.
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Akras, do we have others?
If there are any individuals who would like to give testimony in this case, please use the raise your hand function. Mr. Chair, I see no individuals who wish to give further testimony in this case.
Okay. All right. On the basis then of the materials that are contained in the application, and in addition to things that Mr. Fogelman has promised to submit, including any support received from the Fells Point Resident Association that would be in writing, and the testimony received in his proffer, I would vote to approve the application to transfer the ownership and location of this Class BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license from 1709 Fleet Street to 628 South Broadway.
Commissioner Guy, based on the evidence and the testimony presented before the board, I also vote to approve the application to transfer the ownership and the location of the BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1709 Fleet Street to 628 South Broadway.
Based upon the application, the proffers from counsel, and the testimony, I too would grant the application to transfer ownership and location of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1709 Fleet Street to 628 South Broadway Street.
No, is it for the record?
Mr. Fogelman, please note that we will be sending you correspondence via U.S. mail, letting you know of the board's decision and next steps for licensure.
Mr. Akras, commissioners, Mr. Chairman, thank you all very much. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Thank you.
You too.
Thank
you. Mr. Akras, I believe that docket for today. Are we in recess until Thursday?
Correct, Mr. Chair. That is today's docket. Board is in recess until November 19th, 2020. If any members of the public have any questions or concerns, please call our office at 410-396-4377 between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Do the same.